Hi, I'm Mr. Simons, and in this video we're looking at the effects of economic growth. So let's get started. When we look at economic growth, that's going to affect a whole bunch of different areas in an economy. And if you're confused why it's effect at the front slide and it's affect here, I've got the perfect video for you, and you can click on it now in the little doohickey above, little click here thing above my head somewhere. So economic growth is going to affect so many different things in an economy. For this video, I just want to focus on a couple of really key areas. So we're going to look at living standards, employment, inflation, income distribution, and environmental impacts. One thing I'm not looking here is external stability, and there's a whole other section on my channel that deals with issues around external stability. So this is what we're going to focus on for this video. So the first area we're going to look at is how does economic growth affect living standards? Well, higher economic growth equals higher real GDP for every person in the economy. When we talk about per capita, we're talking about per person. So when there is higher economic growth, higher output, higher incomes, then on average, people are earning more. If people have higher real wages, as the economy is growing, their wages might be going up. Higher real wages equals higher disposable income. So income that they can do whatever they want with, that would lead to higher material living standards. Essentially, that's the ability to do this. And remember that higher living standards, including material living standards, is a major goal of economic growth. Economic growth is also going to affect employment. Basically, that economic growth creates more jobs. So if you think about it, if people have higher incomes, they can buy more stuff, they demand more goods and services, then firms will need to find more workers to satisfy that need for extra goods and services. There is the concept of derived demand, that the demand for employment is derived from the demand for goods and services. Very important concept here. The other thing is that if there is higher economic growth, it's likely that everybody who wants a job is going to find one, because the economy needs all of this extra labor to produce that extra output. Higher economic growth, greater demand for labor can also lead to better paid or even higher skilled jobs out there in the economy. So economic growth has a major impact on employment. Let's look at economic growth and inflation. And by inflation, this is what we mean. The changes in the general level of prices. So higher economic growth leads to higher prices and higher wages. And the sort of part about this is that you've got people with more money that can suddenly go out and buy all of the goods that they couldn't before. Now everyone's trying to get the goods. Prices are going up. Well, that leads to higher inflation in the economy. So if you think about it this way, inflation will particularly occur if aggregate demand, so the total demand in the economy, is greater than aggregate supply, the total amount of output. So this means that more demand is going after the same number of goods. One way to think about it is to put it like this: that more money chases the same number of goods, so therefore prices will go up. Final thing to think about is that the government wants economic growth, yes, but it wants sustainable economic growth. And sustainable economic growth is economic growth that doesn't lead to out of control or rampant inflation. So the government wants growth, but not if prices are going up really, really quickly. Okay, another effect of economic growth is on income distribution. And the way to think about it is that on the face of it, economic growth is great. It's going to be better for everyone in the economy. But in reality, not everyone benefits from higher economic growth. It doesn't flow to everyone equally. So think about it this way. If you've got people that own assets or shares or businesses then they're going to get a bigger benefit from economic growth than those people that are looking for higher wages in low skilled jobs or higher welfare payments. So economic growth may not benefit everyone equally in terms of income distribution. So economic growth can potentially have a negative impact on the environment. So think about things like the way we use fossil fuels, non-renewable resources, all that pollution from production. That means that in increasing output, we are also increasing the harm to the environment. So the idea here in economics is to talk about ecologically sustainable development. That is, pursuing a level of economic growth that also doesn't ruin the environment and leaves it there for future generations. This is a really important thing, that economic growth can have a negative impact on environmental sustainability. So, our discussion about economic growth involved these factors. Thanks for watching. Maybe you want to subscribe or check out another video. Either way, always a pleasure having you here. Thanks for your time.